Assalamu alaikum and welcome to The Society with Barrister Fatma Shaheen. Films, we all love them and we all watch them every day, be it a romantic movie, be it a suspense thriller, or be it for that matter any other kind of a movie. How do movies affect us substantially? How do they influence us in our everyday lives? This and much more we are going to be discussing in our today's show. We'll also be deliberating upon the fact that what all has the current Pakistani government done in order to show its commitment towards reviving the Pakistani film industry. This and much more to follow, and to do that, let me introduce you to my today's panel. My first panelist for today's show is Shoaib Sultan Saab, who is a theatre activist, along with being a theatre actor and a director. Assalamu alaikum, sir, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Alongside him, I have Ms. Jannat Fazal, who is a clinical psychologist. She is the program manager of DRF, Cyber Harassment Helpline. Assalamu alaikum, Jannat, and welcome to the show.
Assalam, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And via Zoom, we'll be joined by Nigat Akbar Shah, who is a humanitarian, and she's also the producer of the movie Darya Ke Is Paas. Assalamu alaikum, Nigat Saib, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fatma, for having me on your show.
Nigat, I would like to start the show with you. Cinema, as we all know, is a very powerful tool. It impacts us in our everyday life, something which I made a mention of in my introduction as well. But it is very important for all of us, to understand that, the way it is impacting us, because that impact is something that can stay with us for long times to come. We actually end up, adopting the styles and the attitudes of so many characters that we end up seeing on the silver screen. So overall, how do you assess the benefits, or for that matter, the disadvantages of cinema on us as a society?
Fatma, this is a great question. This can be positive and negative. I mean, visual media can be a source of our grace or our downfall. It really depends on the stories we tell ourselves, right? Social media is powerful because it deals in stories, and stories people take to their heart. Other great examples that we see very strong, intelligent women portraying like strong and intelligent women on TVs.
But I think it's good that at the outset you've pointed out that it's something, it's a double-edged kind of a thing which can go both ways. I think what matters at the end of the day is that who is watching that, piece of entertainment, be it a movie, be it a TV drama, be it anything for that matter, and what kind of influence can they get from it. Because I think maybe two people can watch the same movie and they can get a different perception to it. Would you want to add something to that,
Yeah,
Shoaib
I would
Saab?
like to say, Fatma, about this very important subject you were talking about, and it's about perspective as well at the same time, what you are exactly pinpointing. The reason is that generally we said it that in movies it's a reflection of society. Whatever in society we are reflecting it through films or any visual medium, but it's not like that always. Like in our films we have song and dance, so in our real life there is no song and dance. And there are a lot of other aspects, because we have to cater in 2.5 hours or 3 hours film, we have to project a certain message or certain values, or project like our culture, whatever.
Not everybody does that, Shoaib Saab. You people have been in that rare minority about which we will be talking about. But of course, we can't, expect that every aspect of the entertainment industry will be reflective of the society.
Absolutely.
Because of course, it's there to entertain you there. In
That's why I was saying that there are
two ways to it.
Yeah, two-way sword.
There are two ways to it,
Absolutely.
basically.
And then sometimes, of course, whatever they are reflecting or whatever they are projecting is not the actual one.
Exactly.
So we have to see that, we have to relate that whether it's relatable or not, and it depends upon circumstances of individual as well.
And it also depends on, like, if a young person is seeing a romantic movie, the way they would perceive that movie would be very different from the way maybe a 70 or an 80-year-old would at the end of the day. And also, but I think we still can't negate the fact, Shoaib Saab, that there have been movies in Hollywood and otherwise who've helped shade world events, who've made people more aware about their rights, who've actually opened up discussions which were never there before. Jannat, what would your narrative be on?
Everything that we see on television has to be sensationalized, just so we, can get those TRPs, and so that we can get more people to watch it. So we have to understand that whatever is being portrayed, it may or may not actually reflect our society. Majority of the times it does not, and we have to be aware of it. And and we can use this particular medium to make people aware that, even if you're seeing that someone's if they're doing romance online, or you're seeing songs like Shoaib Saab pointed out, that does not mean that this is going to be your real life.
Of course,
and
of course.
teenagers think that this is going to be
the
how
kind of movie they're watching and how strong they are, whether they take that influence or not. But as a psychologist, I'm sure a lot of people come to you every day. So tell us from your practical experiences that how do movies, how do films impact our minds?
So basically, when you see something and something that you do not know exists, so that's your first experience and first exposure to that thing. So what you start doing is that because that is your first exposure to it, you start having perceptions about it. So once you have that perception, what you're going to do is you're going to want to emulate that. So whatever I'm seeing, I would want to emulate that, not necessarily in all the cases, but this is our perception that a guy has to pursue a girl because this has been built over the years through
and
movies.
that is what we've been seeing, which is exactly what I said in my introduction as well. And also I think it's very interesting, we should actually talk about the positives of the film industry as well in this regard. Like I was reading this survey which said that children who watched Harry Potter, they were likely to be more imaginative, they were likely to be more creative. So it also depends on the kind of film that you're watching at the end of the day, which takes me to my next question, which was very interesting, and I thought I would take this up with you on the show. Is it true that psychologically sad movies make you happier?
Well, it basically depends on who the person is and what is their interest in that movie. So if you are watching it because you're feeling sad in that particular movie, so if you can relate with the protagonist, then maybe it'll make you happy and you will see that, oh, everything turns out to be okay for that person, and it maybe it'll be this way for me as well. But sometimes it also gives you that reality check that, oh, things are not going to go the way you think they are. So maybe I'll lose somebody, or I will have to suffer. So depends on the person who's watching it.
And it depends on the circumstances you are, because that molds the way you want to see things, whether you want to see.
I would like to add one thing, that this is very important to understand that the person who is looking at that product or a visual medium, whatever it is, film or TV or anything, so on an OTT platform, anything, at that point of time, what is he feeling about his life, his surroundings and the society. And sometimes it's a deliberate choice to look something or go for some special show,
especially because we see a lot of young people, when they have their breakups, they tune into more romantic movies,
or listen sad songs,
to listen to sad songs. So it actually depends on the circumstances. But coming to you, Nigat, I would want you to delve on the fact that since you have been living in the US for more than 20 years, how do you see the movies there affecting the average American? Is that effect any different from the way that we are affected by movies here?
I know that Hollywood studios have a lot of power, and the US has prioritized its film industry for over 100 years, right? So now digital technology is leveling the field and it is becoming more cheaper. I think United States, the film industry here has a moral obligation to do a good job and create movies that are, I would like to see an end to xenophobic plot lines. That's very important. And also, as a woman, I feel personally offended when women are objectified on the screen.
It can essentially everywhere, basically.
All film industries, if you look at, even we talk about Hollywood or Bollywood or any industry, so if you see that hardly 3 or 4 major products came up which have got success, and in those products you can easily identify that this kind of objectivity, which is very clear.
Of course, and of course that has a different effect. But coming back to you, Nigat, because you're the only person living in the US and all of us are based in Pakistan, so I would like to get that Hollywood perspective from you in that regard. You've done your bit, about which we'll also delve upon, but do you feel that Hollywood, considering it's the leading film industry in the world, it has that responsibility in terms of good and strong content production?
Absolutely. Anyone who is dealing with people's heart and mind has a responsibility. And I wish to see filmmakers take that responsibility as an honor, not an imposition. And they need to come up with positive, they need to get away with stereotypes and bad plot lines, and they need to show women more in positive light instead of stereotyping them, and also Asian communities, and any type of film should be balanced.
Exactly, because Hollywood as it is, it has a great effect on the culture and economy, not only of America, in fact of, you know, all the countries all over the world. Shoaib sir, what do you want to add? Please do.
A very important aspect which I think we are missing here, that you know, American produce thousands of films every year, and the major studios like Universal or MGM or like any other one. So the problem is that the product we are receiving here in Pakistan or in third world countries are whatever are successful over there. There are a lot of productions they are producing, actually they are for mostly for American audience. That did not reach to us. So we don't know exactly that it's actually there is balance. They are also making at the same time Marvel or DC kind of films.
Which is why I put this question to Nighat Sahiba, because she's living there, she's a Pakistani American, so she would be in a better position to answer that. But she gave us that narrative. But you know, you also have had a very wide portfolio. You worked in you know, in the entertainment industry in different countries, India, Bangladesh. I was going over your work, sir. So how do you compare working as an actor in all these industries compared to what it is working here in Pakistan?
Okay, I actually basically I'm a theatre enthusiast, and I remain associated with theatre long 15 years. And I recently directed this short film. We will talk about this later.
Right.
But when as a theatre person, I used to visit like India, Nepal, Bangladesh, England, Norway, UK, and I used to visit on my personal basis as well. And I used to see a lot of Broadways at the same time. So when I compare theatrical in the theatrical background ways, so they are more professional. That is the one thing. It's a very basic thing. They are more professional. They are more like into that field. They own that thing.
And I think they are definitely more resourceful as well.
They are more resourceful. The government supports them. Like
our government is also doing its
best. Absolutely. But they have more resources, as you said.
Of course, at the end of the day.
And they have audience as well. Audience also want to see more and more and more.
Exactly, sir. But I would want to add to this is the fact that, you know, I think nowadays people are very aware, they're very cognizant of what kind of content they expect from filmmakers like you. And I think the young generation now, they want to actively see good local content being presented to them. But moving on, I think a very important question that also rises in this regard is projection of clinical psychologists like you, which at least in my research and all these Hollywood movies which I've seen is usually not so positive. I don't know why, but there's this obsession of showing psychotherapists and you know, all the psychologists as somebody who's not very ethical. So how do you justify that?
I think it's important that we talk about, because it's something that we have to understand. It's a very collaborative process. So just because people don't understand how psychotherapy works, what they do is they sort of depict them in a negative way and in a negative role. And
although they should be the one who should be the saviors, because at the end of the day, in whatever movie they're treating somebody, they should, you know, be the heroes at the end. So it's something that I've never been able to decipher.
So the thing is, when it's easier to project that kind of relationship, and when you project it, it gets you TRP and it gets you rating and it gets you more consumers.
But at the same time, I think it's very detrimental for professionals like you, because it actually puts a, you know, question mark on your integrity, on your work, and on your, you know, sincerity to it. But do you think in this, Shoaib Saab, what matters is that whether actors like yourself or any other actor, they take up such roles or not? Because at the end of the day, if a certain script comes in front of you, you have that leverage to say no.
Absolutely. Actually, it's very important. First of all, the writers should write such stuff. And at the same time, if you talk about Pakistani entertainment industry, because we are mostly into TV dramas, unfortunately, not so many films are making at that point of time. But in TV dramas, we are very stereotyped. We all know that we are only talking about extramarital affairs or in-laws relationship with mother-in-law and daughter-in-law.
But I think the trend towards socially oriented, you know, dramas is also started, and I think movies like the ones that you guys have both made, you and Nighat, I think they will also, you know, set the bar higher.
But it's hardly one in like once in like
once in a year. You know, is several documentaries, and then the dramas. I wouldn't want to name them. We have quite a few.
Yeah, absolutely.
One is running on PTV itself as well.
PTV, in fact, like initiated so many ideas like that with respect to social issues. If you talk about like long time back in 80s, Andhera Ujala was there. We talk about
it's still airing a drama on human trafficking in Pakistan.
And in Kar Karo about addiction. So PTV always took very bold steps as far as social issues are concerned and projected it on television. So, but the problem is that right now the channel's priority is not to play such kind of stuff. And filmmakers like us, as we talk about, or Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, or like independent filmmakers, there's a problem that we don't have that opportunity to display this kind of talent or this kind of product in any medium, because there is no platform available for such kind of thing.
But I think if you keep on doing it, another way to look at it is, I think you will pave the way. But
We
coming
will
back
keep on
to
doing. We will definitely keep on doing.
keep on doing it so that people, you know, people get more interested in watching content like this. But coming to you, Nigat Sahiba, you've produced this amazing movie which actually won Pakistan 3 international awards. So what was your motivation of making this movie to start with?
I would say I didn't choose the topic chose me. Like for the past 10 to 15 years, I noticed a constant increase in suicide rate and mental health deterioration in my hometown of Chitral, Pakistan. So I wanted to do something. As a humanitarian, my heart is in Chitral, and so I wanted to initially I had envisioned a 10-minute public service announcement, but thankfully I got high kind of level talent. So that 10-minute public service announcement turned into this short film. And I think, my wish was this 10-minute public service announcement will reach the Parliament of Pakistan, and the government will do something and would do meaningful investment in mental health resources.
Tell us that, I know that you are a local yourself from Chitral, and which means that you had that narrative, you had that perspective of giving that real touch to this movie. But what are the statistics like in Chitral when we talk about suicide?
We decided that it will be very impactful if we tell this story from one person's point of view. So that's how we had to go with the majority, and women are committing more suicide. So that's how we chose a female protagonist in this film.
Female protagonist is at the same time powerful. She's literate person, and she has some hurdles in her life, and that is very important. That from women perspective, that we all know that
women are more vulnerable to mental health issues. But I wanted her to say this out, Claire, for that matter. But your involvement in this movie was you were the director, and this, I believe, was your first movie.
Debut project.
It was your debut project. So what was your motivation in directing this movie? You could have done any other movie for
Absolutely.
that.
Actually, honestly speaking, I waited, I think, more than 25 years to make such thing happen.
Yes, because you've had such a long career in theatre, and you were doing pretty well for yourself.
Absolutely. But the problem is that there's nothing, an idea came up to me which intrigued me in a way that I should be part of such thing. Though I've always wanted to be a filmmaker and want to make a film. But when Nigat just discussed this brief idea with me, just first of all, this issue about mental health and suicide, it triggered me a lot in a way that why it's happening, can we contribute towards society, we should do our bit. That's very important. That as a filmmaker or any other normal person, you have to contribute in a way. So Nigat, when approached me, so it was very interesting subject. So I personally go over there, research for this subject. We did not.
I was about to ask this question because I understand, having worked in the social sector. Of course, I'm currently still working in the social sector. I think it's very important for anybody who wants to make such a movie or a drama. They need to have their grip right on the subject, because I myself have assisted on the script of this drama, which was, I think, aired a few years ago on child abuse and child rape, for that matter. So wasn't it just a task getting all the psychologists on board and then educating your actress as well about mental health issues?
No, the thing is that initially we tried to get the information from the valley itself.
Okay.
That what people understanding is there, because it's all about them. This topic was never ever projected in any of the film. This topic was never ever in the limelight, and never ever discussed in mainstream media. So we want to have the perspective of every other involved, every aspect of it we want to include in a way that no one should hurt, no one's sentiments should be hurt. And very importantly, I want to tell with this on this platform that this film is not projecting negative light of Pakistan.
Coming to you, would you want to add something to that?
So it's very important that we understand, like Shweb sir mentioned, that we need to do research and we need to get out of our comfort zones, and we need to talk to the people who are experiencing it, because that is what you're going to portray. What we are doing at the moment is that we're not doing researches, and this is not, as a consumer, I don't see that happening. So it's very important that if you're going to capture something, you have to talk to those people. You have to make sure that the essence of the subject.
This is exactly what I said, that it's very important, other than themselves being aware, people like Shoaib Saab, people like Nigat, you know, having that sense of social awareness. It's very important that they take on board, they are equally passionate, they are equally, you know, respectful towards the same cause. Otherwise, I don't think you can do justice to such a movie.
I would like to add one thing, that there is one very important scene, that is a finale, where we try to give the solution with respect to mental health. So that scene, when we wrote it down, of course we are not psychologists or psychotherapists or whatever, so we send it to someone to like just vet it, that whether whatever we are discussing in this scene, is it right way of projecting this character or not. So we vetted from 2 to 3 people actually.
Coming to you, Nigat Saiba, you know, I was reading in one of your interviews that a lot of women suffer in depression and they don't talk about their mental health issues. You also mentioned the fact that this movie particularly would help people, especially women, break the silence. So practically, you know, how would that happen?
I think when people of our country see a relatable person in a film facing the same struggles, they will feel less ashamed and less lonely, and they will be willing to share their experience with others. And I would also love to see like people who are having loved ones who are depressed become more aware of the signs and danger of the depression. And another thing, you know, this film is not the solution. This is this can start to create a solution. So right now, when we speak about these things, when we have like a mainstream media conversation about mental health and how the government can help and how the therapist can help, and you know, most of these time that suicide, these have not been properly investigated. So there should be a force that go to these areas and investigate what
investigated upon, Nigat, and I would also want to add researched upon. We need to have our data very clear on this too. We need to have the statistics to be able to comment and to make such movies, which I'm sure, of course, you and your team had. But Shoaib Saab, you know, we all say that, initially I also said this, that I think media itself is a double-edged sword. Intelligence is also a double-edged sword. It all depends on how you use it. So there could have been a potential, not in your case, but maybe in somebody else's case, that perhaps the cause that you wanted to project was not projected the way it was meant to be projected, with so much compassion, with so much respect. So how can we ensure that the social causes which are advocated in movies like the ones that you've directed, they are projected the right way?
The thing is that it varies upon, again, person to person perspective, what he or she want to project from his product or her product. First of all, there is no proper formal, you can say, policy for vetting such kind of movies or products. When we are like, we made it and we send it to the festivals, we can show it to anywhere, whatever we want, we are allowed to make it. So this is one.
I understand what you're saying is right. I'm not talking about projection, I'm talking about making. Like, you guys did your basic research on it, and I was also reading up on this, that there was this psychologist whose trip was also sponsored from New Zealand by Miss Nigat. So of course I'm sure you did all that, you got all the statistics right in that way. My question remains that how can you ensure that all the social causes that you're wanting to advocate through the films, they are done in a peaceful manner, they are done in the right manner, they are done in a compassionate manner, so that the message is more impactful at the end of the day?
I think that it is more important during the writing process. When you're writing, when you're scripting the idea, whatever you want to, like if you want to project a specific, with a specific objective, with a social cause, with a social message, it's very important the way you can project your main protagonist. So if your protagonist and antagonist are at the, like, they are, your protagonist should be on a positive connotation for sure. If your protagonist is not on the positive connotation, you cannot achieve the objective you want to achieve. So at the scripting stage and even at the research stage, you have to understand the psychology of that particular subject, or the reason why it is happening, what are the reasons behind this thing, or what people can contribute, what people are doing best for it, and what are the reasons behind it. So
is that the reason why you chose to have an actress who was actually a patient of depression?
Honestly speaking, earlier I don't know about it. During the process, he made her realize that she also faced such things in her life. But of course, that thing added into this performance.
And
because
it gave it a more real look. This is
Absolute.
exactly what I was wanting to
and you
bring
already
out of the
saying it that
discussion.
it was more relatable.
It
than
was more
ever-
relatable,
yeah.
exactly, because of course then you can join the dots together in a more coherent and a more informed way. Jannat, you want
and
to say
like you
something?
said that, you know, how can you ensure that, you know, the project, whatever that is you make sure that the project, whatever it's aiming for, gives that message, but you cannot, you know, it's the basically it's the
At
person.
least you can get the research right
Yes,
at your
and
own
basically it
end.
comes down to the person who's doing it. If the person has that objective that, you know, I want to research, I want to reach out to people, understand this, and then I'm going to write it, then that is basically them stepping out of their comfort zone and doing something. So basically, if they're passionate about it, then they can bring that happen, you know, they can make it happen.
People who do such movies, people who do such dramas, especially those advocating for a social cause, they are passionate.
Yes,
and they
yes.
have that love
Yes.
for humanity. Otherwise,
But
I've not seen
unfortunately,
many
what
people
we're
do
seeing,
it.
yeah, but
Exactly.
unfortunately what we're seeing at the moment in our you know, in our dramas, that's not the case. You know, people are not stepping out of their comfort zone. So I think that is very important.
But I think that's also changing slowly and gradually. But coming to you, I think a very pertinent question to ask you in this regard is the fact that something that, you know, which this movie also talks about is breaking the taboo, breaking the silence. Why do you feel are people so hesitant to talk about their mental health issues?
When we say that we are feeling a certain way, that basically means that we are because we've associated weakness with any sort of illness. So when we say that we are feeling this way, or we have certain ailment, we think that we are weak. And with mental health, there is more stigma attached. You know, it's something that we do not want to acknowledge, because when we acknowledge it, it's basically acknowledging that we are sort of weak, but that is not the case. It's basically you're trying to seek help, but we don't want to acknowledge, and that is why we don't want to seek help, because then people would think that we are vulnerable, or then people would make fun of us. You know, they'd bully us, they'd make fun of us, or they'd want to, you know, not take us seriously because of what we are experiencing.
And I think in this regard, a very important role should be played by professionals like yourself, who are in that position, who can actually help such people out. But how do you potentially identify a person who's suicidal? Because in Pakistan, at least, you know, those who even do end up committing suicide, I'm sure they don't know that they have that tendency.
It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a snap. So it's like a whole process. The person reaches out for help. They are going to seek help, because there's always going to be cry for help. So you can see, you know, there's going to be low mood, lack of pleasure in things that they used to enjoy previously. So that is going to be there. Then you'd see some irritability and some, you know, everybody has those fleeting suicidal ideation, but then for them the frequency would increase. They would actually be talking about.
Per se, at least to my knowledge and in my research, it's not a disease per se. Like if it's left untreated, like if I have depression and it's left untreated, if you have bipolar disorder that's left untreated, it could possibly lead to suicide in that way.
It could be a byproduct of some, you know, disorder that you're experiencing. So basically you would have signs and symptoms, and then eventually the helplessness would be so much that you would want to, you know, end your life, because that is the only solution you would, you know, see. So basically we perceive suicide as something which happens overnight, but it doesn't happen in a snap. You know, there's a whole process behind it. That person would be experiencing certain signs and symptoms, there'd be some disorders, and then after that, their executive functioning suffers, because of which they're unable to make that kind of decision. Because let's say if you're experiencing, if you have depression, then you won't be able to think as
clearly as others. I think you've got your point across. On
so
that, Nigat Sahiba, I would want to take you on board. This movie of yours, Darya Ke Is Paar, it has done very well, like I earlier mentioned as well, and like we all know. But the interesting thing is that considering that it relates to an issue in Chitral in the north of Pakistan, why has it not been released in Pakistan?
Fatma, it has not been released anywhere in the world. It is just going through its festivals right now, and we had to send it to festivals so we can create more awareness about this problem. I mean, think about this. Had it not won these awards, this would have not been discussed in Pakistan media or anywhere. So this is a kind of impact we wanted to create, and how we will know that it has impacted that
Exactly,
much.
because I would have thought if it had released in Pakistan or in any other country, it would be easy to measure, you know, the success it would have had, because then you would be able to point a finger to that. That's right, because, you know, we have had movies which have actually brought about even new laws. I remember the law of honor crimes, which was
Yeah, honor
passed.
killing, yeah.
Exactly, honor killings, and I actually did a show on that. That was after that a documentary by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy was made. So it had, the government did take that pressure, and we need to give them that credit. But this current government time and again has also reiterated its pledge to revive the film industry in Pakistan. So how successful in your view has the government been till date?
Yeah, I think they are ensuring this thing, that I think they are thinking about it, at least that from the earlier governments as we compared. But right now there is nothing concrete with respect to like COVID happened, like for the 2 years.
There's so many other things that are
aspects,
happening
yeah.
basically.
So,
but if you feel, you know, you're a director out there, you're also a theatre actor, what proposals would you make to the government in this regard, that these are the things that they need to invest in? Is it policy that they need to invest in? Is it giving maybe artists like yourself royalties, or is it something else?
I think there are so many aspects of this whole thing. Not only government, it's not only the responsibility of government. That is very important. That of course government can make a policy and that could be implemented. If we talk about the policies made by government, it's not only about government. We have to understand that government can only make policies, could implement it, they could subsidize different aspects of filmmaking or TV medium. But there are a lot of private channels right now. There's also responsibility of those channels, those platforms, because every entertainment is running right now on television, especially in Pakistan. We are bound to watch TV every night.
And I think there's a lot of room for public-private partnerships, sir, in that way, because it's very unfair to put everything in the domain of the government that way.
Absolutely.
And this is something that works otherwise all over the world.
Because
too.
these channels are private channels, definitely, and they have their thinking process as well. They have to understand that such content should also be presented in a way that they should have slots. They could, like earlier we are discussing at some platform, that like films like these short films, like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, a lot of people want to produce such stuff, but there is no platform. Maybe they can make a slots in their channels, that not every day but once in a week, so people like us can project such content.
And I think in this regard young people should also be given more of a chance, because there is so much talent here in Pakistan. Young people want to enter the industries, but unfortunately so the barriers are so high, and I think in this directors like yourself also have a very important role to play. You should give young people a chance too, because everybody, I believe, starts somewhere or the other on that matter. But since you are a theatre actor and you've also been a theatre activist as well, sir, I would want you to make a comparison of, you know, how this form of entertainment impacts the society as opposed to cinema.
Actually, theatre has the most impact on society, in my opinion, because theatre pull the audience. Like in television, it's like you are in your comfort zone, you are on the sofa and then you're watching television, you have the convenience to change the channels at the same time. But theatre is a very lively thing. That theatre is always a like jadoo or a magic of that entertainment industry.
I think it's more immediate that way, and I think frankly speaking, theatre actors are generally more talented than movie actors or TV actors, because they don't get that chance to do the retake. Jannat, but from a psychological perspective, how do you see theatre impacting people as opposed to movies or films impacting them?
I think in theatre, like Shoaib Sir said, you were able to connect with your audience. So basically they're there and you were able to connect, and you don't get to have a second take.
Right.
So the audience need to connect with you, and they do connect eventually, and they are going to whatever you're trying to convey. I think theatre is more subtle, it's more nuanced, and whatever you're trying to convey.
But in a way it's more loud too, because it's there in your face.
Yes, but you know, at the end of the day, there's some message, and you take that message home with you. And with theatre and any other, you know, something which is happening in the real life, in front of you, what it does, it makes you sit with that question. So even if it's something which is difficult, you cannot change the channel. So you'd have to sit there with that question, ponder over it.
So coming to you, Nighat Sahiba, you know, we are generally talking about different forms of entertainment in the entertainment industry. We know that you've done your bit of giving back to the society by producing this amazing film, but do you have any plans of doing the same when it comes to Pakistani theatre?
if we can create change, bring awareness about certain things on a very personal level, like theater, we just discussed that it has a personal touch with the audience. And definitely, I mean, if that we can bring and we can create theaters in each and every cities for people to watch and get their mind straight and get connection, I think definitely I would be up for it.
Exactly, and I think in that way, Nighat Sahiba, the audience would also be very different, because theatre is supposed to be more impactful for people, you know, who are probably living in the rural areas of Pakistan, because it has played its due role in community development. So I think definitely that's something that you must consider. But you know, we know that you've played your due role in projecting Pakistan in a very positive light. I think the biggest proof of which is the fact that your movie won 3 awards at the New York Film Festival. But do you feel that after this movie, you've also set the bar high?
I think so. Thank you so much. Yes. We always wanted to show Pakistan in a very positive light, and in this film we are not seeing that the help can come from anywhere else. We are showing that if a person is depressed and that person needs to get help, even if the circumstances of her life hasn't changed. So this is more of a like understanding your problems and fixing them, changing your perspective.
I meant that setting the bar high for other, you know, movie producers, other movie directors to follow lead. I think you could also add to that,
Yeah,
Shoaib
absolutely,
Saab.
because it's not only for them. I think
Of
we
course.
raise bar high for ourselves as well. That is more important.
I think
actually.
bar high in the sense of, you know, movie production, bar high in the sense of the kind of content you're
Yeah.
giving out.
I could talk to this. You know, when it comes to social change, I think short films are the best way, best directions. They're less expensive to make, and they can be make more quickly. And people who make them know upfront that they cannot gain monetary returns from these. So, you know, when your mind is not clouded by the financial aspect of something, then you can put the story forward. So in that sense, yes, and people from Pakistan need to come up and make these films even more. But again, you know, as motivated as Pakistani filmmakers are, they need support, right? They need to have less fear of their films not getting released and more opportunities to learn about distribution before they start even rolling their cameras.
That's right, exactly. That's exactly the point I wanted to extract from this conversation. And also, I think finances itself do play an important role. But then if you can, you know, have this movie made at a low budget, if I'm not wrong, then I'm sure others can also follow lead. So coming to you, Shoaib Saab, what would you want to add to this?
I would like to say that we did not set the bar high for everyone. We also set the bar high for ourselves as well
Exactly.
at the same time. We need to understand, for any filmmaker, whatever they want to make, short, long or feature films, it's very important that we have to capture the right subject with the right way,
Exactly.
and with the right budget as well, because if the budget is not right, the sincerity is not there, the honesty is not there, we have to project the positive image of Pakistan at the same time, but discussing the issues as well.
Exactly,
So we-
and giving solutions to them too.
Absolutely, we can put our bit and then ask the other, because in this film also we are giving them a solution at the same time. It's an open-ended kind of thing at the same time, that people over there actually are responsible to contribute for their own solutions at the same time. That's why the name of the film is Darya ke is
This
par,
par, exactly.
not us par.
Us par,
Means
exactly.
ke this bank
It
of
has
the river.
its symbolic importance.
It's a very
that
symbolic
levels. And in
connotation.
this, I think filmmakers like yourself, which you already pointed out, have a very important responsibility to play. But having said that, you know, how can you motivate young people, you know, young potential aspiring filmmakers to enter the industry and to do such projects? Because what they want to do is something probably more commercial, which will get them more money, which will give them more fame. And I have met a lot of young people who want to make their careers in filmmaking, but they don't see this very commercially viable. Sorry to say. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Agree.
Exactly. So
Absolutely.
how can you motivate the young people out there to actually advocate for such causes through filmmaking?
I think the more products will be made like this, then they will be automatically be
Right,
like
so.
understand that this is very important. We have to produce every kind of cinema.
Coming to you, Nighat Saab, a very important point which arises in this whole debate is the fact that we need to respect filmmakers like you who are doing their bit in improving the society. So how can we generally inculcate this culture of respect for filmmakers per se in the Pakistani society, so that people like you are also motivated to do their bit in improving the society?
If filmmakers start making some honest films about social causes, I mean, I'm not saying it should not have the other dimension of entertainment. They can have both. And then that way we have to educate our audience that we are having these good films about certain issues, and they can start respecting the film industry. So that's how I think one way we can, and we have to educate our audience to respect this industry by giving them good content.
But coming towards the conclusion of the show, sir, what would your concluding message be to the people out there? What is that message that you would want to give to the society out there, especially when it comes to watching films and vice versa?
If we look into this last decade, especially in a lot of curriculum, this theatre filmmaking is added, like institutes like NCA, NAPA or BNU, they are properly educating people for filmmaking or training for theatre. So it's very important that our curriculum has accepted this thing as a field.
To sum it all up, what relationship do you see of the film with the society and vice versa, and how can we work to improve this relationship?
So like Ms. Nigat said, that it started that discourse. So it's very important that if you want to have a certain discourse started, you have to, and you want to educate the masses, you have to do it through this medium. And it's a very good medium to reach out to the masses. And also because what we see, we emulate. Because otherwise, if you're not exposed to it, media can be that first exposure to things. So if you're only seeing aggression, that is what we are going to emulate. If you're seeing women empowered in a certain way, then we are going to let our girls study. So that is very important.
That's very true, because you know we have had researches and statistics to suggest that a lot of criminals out there, at some point or the other, they have been exposed to a lot of violence. Who knows what form that violence might have taken, but it could possibly be from the media.
Yes, I mean, even if it's from media, it's how you show it, how you depict it on that screen. If it's shown that, you know, there's going to be a repercussion of what you're doing, and it's not just, you know, and you're not going to wait for divine intervention to sort of penalize the criminal, then you're setting that boundary for that criminal, that, you know, eventually you're going to get caught and you're going to be punished for something that you've done. So that is the message that you need to give out. But unfortunately, in our dramas, I'm sorry, I'm you know, taking longer, but you know, in our dramas, what is being projected is that some divine intervention is going to happen, and that is how you're going to get justice, but there is no accountability. So when there's no accountability and you're only going to sensationalize criminal and the activities and not focus
basically
on the
glorify
solution.
all the atrocities and the violence and the negative things, that's not going to take you forward. But Nigat Sahiba, I would like to conclude the show with you. What would your opinion be, your concluding message be for all the people out there, film and society? What is the way forward?
Audience right now are very smart, and they like films with social causes, with message, more than they can enjoy any a weird type of entertainment or item numbers type of things. So we need to take that into consideration, and also we need to be very mindful of the symptoms, like Jannat discussed earlier. There are symptoms of depression that we could see them in our loved ones, and when we see them, we have to be very considerate, and we have to understand that what are the problems that they are going through. We have to, as a society, be very kind towards each other, and especially as women, we need to be very kind and uplifting towards one another. So that's the thing I think we should take from all this discussion.
Thank you so much, Shoaib Saab. Thank you so much, Jannat. And thank you so much, Nigat Sahiba, for being here with us today. Well, to conclude today's show, the only thing that I would want to reiterate in my conclusion is the fact that cinema is that mirror which we all see to basically assess ourselves. We all see it in order to analyze our realities, to understand the issues that we are faced with as a society. So it is very important for us to use this tool, to use this medium intelligently and constructively. On that note, signing off for today. Until next time, take care and Allah Hafiz.